This time last year we had just finished the 5th Doctor, and we were starting the 6th Doctor. And now we're in the middle of the 10th Doctor and about to start a spin-off. Those seasons really went fast.
Yeah, I was thinking with only 13 episodes usually in a season, we could conceivably get through 4 seasons in a year.
Yeah, just about. So, I mean, there's a lot to catch up on. So we're about to start season 3. And so the total right now is 14. So that'll take a while. Of course, this year they're going to release season 15, which everybody's got all their speculation about, and I'm just kind of ignoring it. I just want to watch the episode. So, anyway. Hey guys, Alex and Dan from 7th Hour Films back again with Doctor Who. Last time around we had Doomsday. What was that one about?
It was literally Doomsday, the rift between the two universes, the one where we saw the Cybermen originating on Earth, and Rose's father was still alive, but her mother got converted into a Cyberman. Anyway, the Cybermen had come through earlier, and then the Daleks came through, and then the Daleks and the Cybermen started fighting, and the Doctor and Rose tried to figure out a way to seal the rift. The Doctor said the only way to do that, though, was if he sealed it, then whoever was on one side could never come back to the other side, and it ended up with literally Pete and Jackie and Rose and Mickey all going to the other universe, and the Doctor staying behind. He did have one last chance to send an image of himself, and basically he was about to say that he was in love with her, and it faded out.
Oh, yeah.
And he went back into the TARDIS and found a runaway bride.
Yes. It's the tonal whiplash of that cliffhanger, but that's always good, honestly. So yeah, there was a very strange, angry, yelling bride suddenly in the TARDIS. So
I'm suspecting that's very similar to what was it, Dodo, who ran into the police box thinking she could call the police and got whisked away in the TARDIS.
Maybe. I mean, I know.
Because there's no other reason I can think of why a person would be inside a police box.
Well, yeah. But that's the thing, is that the TARDIS was like orbiting a dying star that he was using to send the message. So I don't know. I mean, I know, but doesn't matter. Also, we'll just go ahead and say it here so that people are aware. We're also going to start Torchwood. We're not doing it all because I can't be bothered to do it all. But we're going to be doing sort of a best of Torchwood. I think we've got 5 episodes from season 1, maybe 4 or 5 from season 2. I know the big thing will be to do season 3, which is only 5 episodes, but it's one continual story. We'll try to figure out how to do that. May just have to sit down and just power through all 5 of those episodes, but that's down the line. So, but we'll be doing a highlight reel basically of Torchwood. We'll be watching the first episode. Those videos are gonna go out on Wednesdays, which is ironic because originally I used to put Doctor Who on Wednesdays, my original run of reactions, and then I think Torchwood became Mondays. And now it's reversed, that Doctor Who is now on Mondays and Torchwood is going out on Wednesdays. So, and it would have been, I would have put them out on Tuesday, but then I started Black Clover, which I put out on Sunday and Tuesday. So it'll go out on Wednesday. And we'll be watching the first episode. Then we're going to take a couple weeks off, so they're not all back to back. We'll take a couple weeks off, and then we'll do another episode. And I'll let you know at the end of that episode which episode it'll be. So, also Merry Christmas, because this is the Christmas special. It is January the 4th when we are watching this, but that's just how that worked out, that we're watching the Christmas special now. And I don't have... There have been some previous Doctor Who Christmas specials where I put out the Christmas tablecloth and I have a Santa hat and stuff. I can't be bothered this time around. In fact, last week I recorded the newest Christmas special with Shudigatwa, and I couldn't even be bothered to put out all of this stuff onto the table. So I'm getting lazy in my advanced age. Yeah, I wanted to tiptoe around that, because I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, is there anything else going into this one?
No, again, the sweater vest is broken out because although right through the end of December here in the southern plains of the United States, temperatures have been in the 50s and lower 60s Fahrenheit, this afternoon we have not just a cold front but an Arctic front coming through the plains. The temperature here is not supposed to get above 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which is freezing, for probably at least 80 hours or so. And this is apparently a Siberian air mass that came down. It's already like in the minus 20s and 30s in Canada, and we're expecting this 1,500-mile snowstorm from Kansas all the way to Delaware. Fortunately, that won't come down to us from what we've been told, but yeah, it's going to massively interrupt travel and cause all sorts of other problems here in the United States. So it's going to be cold.
Yeah. And as he is saying this, I am thinking, man, I could turn that fan up.
Please don't.
I won't. It's just because, like, I've been standing up, getting out the table and setting up all the stuff. So I've been standing. I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm standing right where the heat is. So I am a little warm, but I will cool off probably by the end of Torchwood. So
okay.
But winter never starts in December here. It only gets around to that in January, which is weird because it's not like with the rotation, like the tilt of the Earth, like we're not any more or any less like tilted that far back. Like we've already hit the winter solstice, so now we're tilting back slowly the other way. So days are starting to get longer, but now they're getting colder. I don't know, weather is weird. So I know that I remember I watched a video one time that said Japan is actually like the snowiest country on Earth because like it's positioned in such a way that all those Siberian winds just hit the Sea of Japan, and that's just the perfect, like, all that humidity plus all that cold just...
Plus most of the Japanese islands have central mountains through them, and anytime the warm air rises with all the moisture in it and hits that cold air, that's what causes the snow. So
yeah, but it's also kind of weird because it's like it's really only the northern half of Japan. Like, well, by the time you hit Tokyo, I think there's like pretty much it almost never snows in Tokyo, and then like the further south you go, it just gets more and more tropical and then obviously if you go all the way to like Okinawa, that just is a tropical island. Yeah. But I think like the northern island of Japan is like in the same latitude as like the south of France, but you'd never be able to really tell. It doesn't feel like the south of France. So
well, yeah, we've talked weather before. One of the reasons that the west coast of Europe, Ireland, Northern Ireland, for a little bit Scotland, England, France, Spain, and Portugal, they stay relatively warm is because of the Gulf Stream. That last little bit of warm air that has literally circulated clockwise from the equator up around the North American coast and then back around to them. That's what keeps them relatively warm. On the other hand, although there is a current in the Pacific Ocean, it has further to go, and as a result, I would imagine instead of still having warm air as it comes back around to the east, most of that plays out over those southern islands, Australia, New Guinea, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines, and then up into the southern part of Japan. So that's speculation, but that's what I would think.
I have seen some Australians saying they are currently experiencing like 98-degree heat in Australia because it's their summertime now.
Beginning of summer.
So I remember there was also a video I was watching. It was kind of like a Pictionary game in like Minecraft basically, and there were a couple British people and there was one Canadian, and they basically thought like the picture that the Canadian person drew was sweeping out the snow from like their porch. So they drew that, and they were confused. Like, what do you mean sweep? You shovel snow. And they were like, no. See, that just shows how little snow we get in the UK, that we just sweep it. We don't shovel it. So none of this matters. But
it's just us.
Yeah, but it's I actually thought about doing a compilation. This would take me like an entire year to do. But I thought about making an entire compilation, maybe when we're just done with Doctor Who or you're dead or something, I don't know. But just an entire compilation of every random tangent we've ever had in this series where we just end with, this doesn't matter. We're talking about Doctor Who. Anyway. So it'd probably be like 5 hours by now. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into The Runaway Bride. Oh wow, she's glowing. That was bad glowing.
What the heck?
What?
What the hell is this place?
What?
Oh my god, she's finally got me back. This has got Nerys written all over it.
Who the hell is Nerys?
Your best friend.
Hold on, wait a minute. What are you dressed like that for?
I'm going to Tempin Bowling. What do you think, Dumbo?
I'm the Doctor. You?
Donna.
Human.
Yeah. Is that optional?
Well, it is for me. Some sort of subatomic connection, something in the temporal field. Maybe something pulling you into alignment with the chronon shell. Maybe something macrobiding your DNA with the interior matrix. Maybe a genetics.
Oh.
What was that for?
Get me to the church! How many women have you abducted?
That's my friend.
Where is she? Popped out for a spacewalk?
She's gone.
Gone where?
I lost her.
Well, you can hurry up and lose me! How do you mean lost?
Remember when all of London was under siege? It's that.
Lance, any sign?
I've looked all around, I can't find her. Where the hell did she go?
Showing off. That's what she is. First day at school, she was sent home for biting.
It's a bit more serious than that.
Anything you might have done? Any sort of alien contact? So I can't let you go wandering off. Or it's your dangerous. I mean, have you seen lights in the sky, or did you touch something like something different, something strange, or something made out of any sort of metal? Who are you getting married to? You sure he's human? He's not a bit overweight with the zip runners for it, is he? Can you phone them? Tell them where you are.
Why do I do that?
You got a mobile?
I'm in my wedding dress. It doesn't have pockets. Who has pockets? Have you ever seen a bride with pockets? When I went to my fitting at Shares Allison, the one thing I forgot to say was, give me pockets!
This man you're marrying, what's his name?
Lance.
Good luck, Lance.
Oi! No stupid Martian is going to stop me from getting married. To hell with you!
I'm not from Mars.
He was so not ready for this.
Now, cost you, sweetheart. Double rates today.
Oh my god! Have you got any money?
No. And you?
Pockets! And there goes double for your mama! I'm getting married, I really am, and I'm late, and I just need to borrow a 10 and I'll pay you back, I promise, and it's Christmas.
Uh-oh. Not again.
Hey, there's enough in space, man! I'll see you in coal!
You didn't see the creepy mask?
She wasn't looking.
Oh, yeah. That's a Christmas miracle. Money.
This is something I learned back in the 60s. In a word like Chiswick. They don't pronounce the W. So while I was living there, a very, very famous American singer named in the United States, Dionne Warwick, had several big hits, but in England she was always called just Dionne Warwick. So when I got back to the States and said, hey, I really like Dionne Warwick, they went, who are you talking about?
You are kidding me.
It's Christmas, gotta up the stakes.
Donna, open the door! What for? You've got to jump!
I'm a blinking flip jump and I'm supposed to be getting married!
Well, you never thought you'd see the TARDIS in a car chase.
I gotta admit, the special effects are very good.
Yeah.
I need my waking breath! This is lovely! Come on!
Can't you fly a little closer? Yeah.
Well, you can book another date.
Of course we can.
Still got the honeymoon.
It's just a holiday now.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, there's always a
It's not your
courthouse.
fault.
Oh. That's a change.
Wish you had a time machine. Then we could go back and get it right.
Yeah.
Eh.
But even if I did, I couldn't go back on someone's personal timeline. Apparently.
Eh. That's what the movies say.
God, you're skinny. This won't fit a rat.
I met them last Christmas.
Why? What happened then?
Great big spaceship. Hovering over London. You didn't notice?
I had a bit of a hangover.
I spent
Fair
Christmas
enough.
Day just over there. The palace day. With a bit quick to get married.
Well, he insisted. Will you marry me?
Meh.
And he nagged me. Just think about it. We'd make a great couple. And I'll get rid of the dog. You had the reception without me.
Donna, what happened to you?
You had the reception without me.
What are they clapping about?
But they're back together.
I guess. All right, good job, Donna. That's even more effective than the fingers on lips.
Oh, my girl, my precious girl, just what is this man to do?
I was gonna say Googling on a flip phone.
My precious girl.
Oh, eh.
A little fire alarm.
Yeah, but they got all the exits. Oh no, they have a PS2 controller. Oh, that's different. Ah! Oh, not the cake.
They're not scavengers anymore. I think someone's taken possession.
Never mind all that. You're a doctor. People have been hurt.
They wanted you alive. Look. They're not active now.
All the same, you could help.
Gotta think of the bigger picture. There's still a signal. Donna.
Who is he? Who is that man?
the man that saved you. That's all. That's important.
Okay.
He shall come to me, and the beautiful bride.
Is this the spider that killed the third doctor?
I don't think that's what they meant by the Christmas star.
Sideman evasion. Skies over London full of Daleks.
I was in Spain.
They had Sidemen in Spain.
Good driving.
Somehow you've been dosed with Huon energy. And that's a problem, because Huon energy hasn't existed since the Dark Times. The only place you find a Huon particle now is a remnant in the heart of the TARDIS. See? That's what happened.
That makes sense.
Say, that's the TARDIS. And that's you. Particles inside you activated. The two sets of particles magnetized and whap. You were pulled inside the TARDIS.
I'm a pencil inside a mug.
Yes, you are. 4H sums you up. Lance!
What was it? Right then, thanks you two. I can handle it. See you later.
No chance, Martian. You're the man who keeps saving my life. I ain't letting you out my sight.
Going down.
Lance,
Maybe I should go to the police.
inside.
Tomorrow in a bay.
Tell me about it, mate.
All right.
Oh, look. Transport.
Ha! The wedding! Yes, you're getting married, that's it! Best day of your life, walking down the aisle. Oh, your body's a battleground. There's a chemical war inside. Adrenaline, acetylcholine, wham, go the endorphins. Oh, you're cooking. Yeah, you're like walking up in a pressure cooker, a microwave, all churning away. The particles reach boiling point, shazam! What did I do this time?
Are you enjoying this?
Seriously, what for?
Dinosaurs.
What?
Dinosaurs?
What are you on about dinosaurs?
That film Under the Earth with dinosaurs. Trying to help.
That's not helping. Rachnos. That's impossible. You're one of the Rachnos.
Empress of the Rachnos.
Such an impressive costume.
Every day, I made you coffee.
You had to be dosed with liquid particles over 6 months.
He was poisoning me.
It was all there in the job title. The head of human resources.
This time, it's personnel.
Yeah.
It's like you said, Doctor. The big picture. What's the point of it all if the human race is nothing? That's what the Empress can give me. The chance to go out there.
And,
To see it.
and eat people.
The size of it all.
We need this more often.
No humans ever seen this. You'll be the first.
All I want to see is my bed.
Donna Noble, welcome.
Did she ever say her last name?
I don't know.
What's the wedding in perspective?
Now I have measured the bride's catalysis. I can force feed it. Break the particles. Become the key.
I don't know. Spider waterboarding.
I see drama. Oh, wait a minute. Extrapolator.
Hey.
But what do we do?
Make it up as I go along. Trust me, I've got a history.
But you are quite impolite to your lady friend. The Empress does not approve.
Run!
Swing! Up by you!
Ugh.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks for nothing.
Guess what I've got, Donna? Pockets.
How did that fit in now?
They're bigger on the inside.
Rover forms!
drowned it like Dr. Octopus.
Doctor! You can stop now!
It's like Batman now.
What about the Empress? She's used up all her human energy. She's defenseless.
The military. They mobilize so fast.
Orders to Mr. Saxon. Fire at will.
That's a lot of debris falling on London.
Eh.
We've drained the Thames. Mum.
I couldn't save him.
He deserved it. No, he did.
I mean, maybe not being eaten by 4 million spiders, but...
Don't be worried.
And drowned.
Christmas present
Do you live your life like that?
all the time.
Eh.
I think you do. And I couldn't.
You've seen it out there. It's beautiful.
And it's terrible. That
Like
place
4
is
million
flooded
spiders.
and that friend of yours. What was her name?
Her name was Rose.
Alrighty. That's the end of the Christmas special.
All right. So the first thing, the robot Santas. The last time, though, they were Sycorax?
Yes.
Robots from the Sycorax. So that was kind of misleading, because I thought maybe the Sycorax were coming back.
Yeah.
But, you know, they were destroyed on their way out by Torchwood.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, it's just that they were different robots. But for some reason, in London, they have this weird thing of people that will wear very creepy Santa masks and robes and go play instruments. So it's just the easiest disguise on Christmas. So.
All right. Now, didn't one of the other doctors... can't remember. Did they go back to the Big Bang, or there was some kind of spaceship explosion which created life on Earth? But that would have been billions of years after the Earth itself was created.
Yeah, that was... Oh, which one was it? I think that might have been the fourth Doctor.
That's what I was thinking.
Because there was like the... Was that the one in Paris? I forgot what it was called.
City of Death?
Yeah, City of Death. Where it was like... They went back in time to win, like... It would have been when the first life would have been created on Earth. Yeah. And the villain exploded for some reason. Yeah. And that explosion is what caused the chemical reaction that began life on Earth. But that's long after Earth had already formed. So this is the new canon. They are that the Rachnos was at the center of the Earth. They are the center of the Earth.
But that they were in hibernation or something because they couldn't get out until she arrived.
Yeah. Okay. It's a strange thing to do, but it works, and the effects on the Empress is just really good. Obviously, you can tell it's such an impressive thing, but I imagine it was very fragile because she never moved around. Like, she never moved from her spot but it was just enough to look good, just keeping the actress in that thing. So
And now, I've never had to use an appliance like this, but those teeth made it very difficult for her to talk. But she was very, very articulate
yeah,
in the way that she was able to say everything and make it understandable. Now, I'm guessing they didn't go back and overdub that. But even if they did, they synced it up very, very well.
yeah. So it's an incredibly impressive effect, especially so relatively early on. You know, I mean, it really feels like we bumped up the budget a little bit between seasons, and now we can use it on this. It's a Christmas episode. We have to do something impressive for Christmas. So, and this is why we have episodes like Love and Monsters, where we're going to save money on the locations, keep it in like a basement, a little bit of effects for, a little bit of costuming for the Absorbaloff, and then that's it. Or fear her just being, on a street on a suburban street in London, basically. So, got to keep some of the budget down for other stuff.
And again, I mentioned this during the actual episode. I think it would have been interesting if the Rachnos had been either descendants of or some kind of branch off of Planet of the Spiders.
Yeah.
Because that way she would have said, wait a minute, I know this funny little physician man.
Yeah, so. But now we have our first kind of a one-off companion, Donna. What do you think of Donna?
She's very funny. She has the same sense of humor as Rose, but being slightly older than Rose, I would imagine she was in her 20s or even early 30s by that point. She has lived more of life, and I don't want to say she's jaded, but she certainly understands how things work a lot more than Rose did. Now, I know this. I'm seeing Donna for the first time here, but I'm assuming she will become the next companion anyway. So whatever draws him back to her in the next episode. Now, I mean, I happen to know from just what you've said and what I've seen that she becomes a constant companion for at least the next season.
Something like that.
Something like that.
We'll get to it when we get to it. So, but yeah, I do tend to find that that Donna is a very good foil for the Doctor, especially with this Doctor. Just because he's he's kind of whimsical. He gets very excited, and anytime he gets super excited, she'll always be there to slap him and bring him back down to earth, Whereas Rose never really did that. She would always be a part of the excitedness, and that has its benefits and its drawbacks too. So, but yeah, and in this episode, it's tricky because it's like at first you're kind of like you're almost against having Donna at all. It's like, well, we just lost Rose. It was a very emotional, send off for Rose, and then we get this very loud red-haired woman in the TARDIS constantly yelling at him, and he's trying to deal with all of this. He having just gone through, he's got mixed emotions right now, and so, but it is somewhere about probably right after the car chase is when like it all kind of settles in and it all works after that with Donna. So, but speaking of that, we were talking about upping the stakes and upping the budgets for doing something special for Christmas. They had an entire car chase with the TARDIS, which I do like that it highlights. Yeah, the TARDIS is not meant to be doing stuff like that. So, for just being a little police box that kind of disappears, it's like actually flying it is terrible.
And the only other time I remember it flying, there was an episode way back when it hovered over a lake or a sea or something. But I don't know that we've ever actually seen it flying in an atmosphere before.
Yeah. I think there might have been like a Troughton episode where like the first shot is like the TARDIS kind of like landing. It was something like that, something near the water. So, like they will show that occasionally, but yeah, just having it actually fly is a very difficult thing, and I think it just kind of works too, because it's like the fact that it was then out of commission. It's like, yeah, we cannot do this very often, and honestly, it just makes you think. It's like, okay, how long has it been since that TARDIS was actually serviced? Like he keeps it up as best he can, but he's one guy. I'm sure there are proper mechanics on Gallifrey that are now gone.
Well, yeah, but you remember that the Fourth Doctor too, where the mechanic knew Tom Baker?
Yeah.
And now, didn't he service it, or didn't he do something with it? I can't remember if he did or not.
I don't remember, but yeah, I do remember that episode with the Time Lord mechanic, basically, and that was interesting. And we've also said the TARDIS is old. It's when he stole it, it was a very old model anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like it would be like if you had a car chase, with an old like Model T Ford that you had worked on. It's like maybe you could get it somewhat running with an actual mechanic or someone, but even then, it's not going to be as fast as most modern cars anyway. Yeah. So. But it was still good, and just the fact that he's doing all of this. He has his assortment of hammers that he uses to hit the TARDIS when he needs it to work, and then just like the string just to be sure he can keep up. All that was fun. So
now this is also the first time, I think. Now again, I imagine that the actress playing Donna was at this point probably in her late 20s or early 30s, and although David Tennant was probably in his late 20s or early 30s, she actually seems like she's older than him. And that's the first time we've had a dynamic like that where the companion was older than the Doctor.
Yeah, because there definitely was more of that, like, I guess sort of almost mentoring between the 9th Doctor and Rose, and then you kind of get that with the 10th Doctor and Rose, but now, you're right, it does seem, it's like, at the very least, she just seems more mature than him.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, wasn't Rose like 19 when she started, so she would have been 19 or 20. But again, even though he looks young, he looks like he's in his late 20s or early 30s. Whereas, again, this dynamic is not something we've ever seen. Now, in fact, it got me thinking, the last time we really had an older companion was right with the first Doctor, with Ian and Barbara, because they were probably in their late 30s or early 40s.
Yeah.
And then you go through and you have Jamie and you have all those other young people. But having an actual older person with the Doctor is not something that we normally see. And maybe that's what Russell T. Davies was thinking about here is, let's switch the dynamic up. We've had this young, just barely out of her teens girl. So let's go with an older companion who will, hold on to the Doctor's ankles and not let him float away.
Yeah. So, it is interesting, though, as you were saying that, I was like, Rose, she was, late teens, then early 20s and stuff, and now you've got someone who's probably in their later 20s, and I was just thinking, it's like, the last time I watched this, I was in my early 20s. Not anymore. Not anymore. I will say, when the clock ticked over on New Year's Eve, and I just looked at it, and it said 2025. I looked at that and it's like, you know what? That's the first time I look at that and think that's too many numbers. that's too many numbers. That's just like, because I'm thinking it's like, oh yes, we're a quarter into the century, and then I just think that's already a quarter century, and I know I'm 3 years older than that. So yeah. It's like now that it's all divisible by 5 again, I'm like, this is too many things. I don't know.
Yeah, I lived through half of the last century and the first quarter of this century. So
yeah, so
welcome to my world.
Yeah, I'll get there. In I think they said that this is such a terrible thing to think about, but this is for anyone who was around, even just born in the year 2000 is that we are the same distance away from the year 2000 as the year 2050. Because obviously that's how math works. It's 25 years in both directions. And actually, yesterday, from time of recording this, I saw that it was the 26th anniversary of the premiere of Ed, Ed, Nettie. That premiered, so what is today? The 4th, that was January 3rd, 1999, when that came out. And I've been seeing a lot of those, like, a lot of Cartoon Network shows have had, like, 20th anniversaries in the past, like, month. And I'm just thinking, like, cool, I'll just dig the grave now. Might as well dig it while it's here. Anyway. And I don't even want to go into what the future will be, AI, all that stuff. All I will say is I am so glad that A, I finished school before the pandemic, and B, I finished school before AI became a thing. You know, all these kids writing their essays using AI. No. What you really got to do is you get the book you have to write the essay on, you read 5, maybe 6 chapters of it, and then you wing a C grade essay. And it works. So,
yeah, that's when you get that situation like your mother had when she was teaching senior grade English, or maybe it was her friend Susan. But somebody did that, tried to write a book report, an essay over Moby Dick, and presented it in class, and got asked, "What about the whale?" And the kid literally said, "What whale?"
Yeah, it's not perfect, and I didn't do it very often. I think I did that once or twice, maybe in a late college class, and I'm not saying I'm proud of it. I'm just saying I have the degree, so, which is the worst thing to hear, except I got a history degree, so it's not like lives are at stake. If your doctor said that, then you might want to leave.
Yeah,
but
there's that old joke, what do you call the doctor who graduates last from his class?
Doctor. Yeah, so...
You know what? The guy that got a D- on his surgery final.
Yeah. I did like there was a little moment, I didn't remember it, but I thought maybe they were going to play on it a bit, where after the Christmas ornaments exploded and everything, and, you know, Donna says, you know, people, they need your help, like, you're a doctor, can't you help? And he kind of brushes it off, and it's like, I like that moment of Donna, you know, obviously she cares about all these people, even after the whole, you know, they had the reception without her and stuff, but she cares about them, and it's like, I like seeing that more. Honestly, I feel like she has more of a humanity aspect than even Rose did, you know?
Yeah.
So.
One thing about the Christmas tree, though, again, going back to the first episode, The Christmas Invasion, I expected the tree to start spinning like it did then. But instead it was just, you know, exploding Christmas balls. Yeah,
it's another misdirect on that, and it's interesting. I guess it just shows that it's like, yeah, they had an idea. I guess they had an idea. I don't know why the Rachnos though would think that she was going to go to the reception, thus plant fake exploding Christmas ornaments. Why did she think that would happen? I don't know. Because, like, the disguise for the Santas, for the robots, that makes sense, because they were going to use them to kidnap Donna. But...
Yes, maybe that was it, is going to kidnap her at the reception, but because she got hijacked by the Huon particles, then they had to alter the plans. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, I guess it could have been that. Because that could have been, like, you know, they said it's like it's the mixture of all the emotions from the wedding, so you add on top of that, like, you know, just happiness and joy that would be in the reception, and then fear and terror when the Christmas tree ornaments start exploding.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it could have been something like that. And we also had Lance. Lance the I don't know, like, yeah, I understand the whole thing of like, well, you know, she said she would show me the universe and stuff. It's like, she also said, and you know this, that she's going to eat people and eat planets. I don't think, like, I understand the whole, like, well, if you want to get out of your dead-end job, you want to go explore the galaxy, you'll take any chance you get, but it's like, but would you take any chance you can get? Like, maybe hold out for another one, you know? So, but it's okay.
Yeah, I thought for a bit that he was going to be the new Mickey, you know, the somewhat jilted lover. But, yeah, so he fell into the pit.
Fell into the pit, was eaten by 4 billion spiders, and then drowned. So, at least he didn't suffer long, I would hope. I would hope. Maybe they're like, what's the thing in Star Wars? The rank...
Sarlacc pit.
The Sarlacc pit, where they're like, you will now be digested for 1,000 years. It's like, oh, good. So you're going to keep me alive long past my life expectancy just to digest me. Thank you for that. So hopefully, even if that was the case, at the very least, he then drowned when they drained the Thames into the center of the Earth. So,
which leads to another bizarre physics question. That much water going down that far into the Earth would have created a huge steam explosion. It would not have extinguished that fire or that heat. It would have turned the water to steam. So, yeah. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm sure like a sort of hand-waving comment would be like, well, because Torchwood was the ones that dug the tunnel. So maybe it's a thing of like, well, they dug a tunnel, like the tunnel goes through the molten core and just keeps it away from the actual molten rock and goes straight to the Rachnos' ship.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that sounds like a hand-wavy comment that would appear down below. So don't worry, I did it for you guys. I don't know. I mean, there's also the logic of how do you just drain the Thames? And, like, if you drain the Thames, it's a river. Would that then take the rest of the water on Earth?
No. Again, theoretically speaking, if the water then put out whatever it was down below, the river will keep flowing. It will ultimately, the fresh water will come down out of the central part of England, but the seawater from the English Channel will then also back up. Another thing they didn't explain, unless that spaceship was over the English Channel, that was a huge amount of debris that would have fallen on the city of London, killing hundreds of people.
Now, they all got out in the 3 minutes it took them. I mean, the entire military mobilized in, 5 minutes, so they got all the tanks out. They said, we got orders from whatever Mr. Saxon. We're gonna go and we're gonna shoot that thing down over London. So basically, the point is, don't go to London for Christmas because it's just not a good place to be. So
yeah, the only time I went, it was in late spring of '66.
Yeah. So, I guess that's pretty much it. So, yeah, I guess, anything else?
I got nothing.
Then we are going to end this video and take a break, probably go to the bathroom, and then we're going to record Torchwood, which, again, first episode will be out on Wednesday. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, we're Alex and Dad from 7th Hour Films, and we will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of our Doctor Who modern reactions, as well as every Doctor Who reaction in one playlist. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.